How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're gonna continue with the animation fix. Again, this can be used if you use motion capture like I'm doing here, or if you get an animation from the marketplace, you can also apply what I'm going to do here. I did already the face. We're gonna do the body with this spacesuit that I have here. As you can see, there are various scenes that are going to be on the short film. Hopefully it'll be out pretty soon. I'll do my best so it's out as soon as possible, to be honest. Sorry, I scrubbed too fast. If I play this slowly, there are certain things that I want to fix. Like I want to put his head a little bit higher, looking up. He's looking down right there. I don't know what I was doing. But there's also a finger issue on the back here. Don't mind the jump cut over there. I'm going to use movie magic in that part, but there is some fixing that I want to do on the fingers, especially for parts like these where we're aiming at the hands. You can pretty much do that with any body part that you want. This particular character has a mannequin type skeleton, so what the skeleton is fully compatible with the mannequin. So this would be very straightforward. However, this process will work with any kind of skeleton that you have. So if you're not using the mannequin or if you're using the metahuman, some of this will be applicable. That being said, this is not a metahuman. I could do control rig, but I want to release this short film sooner rather than later. This is why I'm not going to dedicate time to creating a control rig for this character. That's why the title of the video, how to fix animations without the use of control rig. So let's get started. All right, so how do we do animation fixing without the use of control rig? It's actually pretty simple. The first step is we need a character with a compatible skeleton for your animation. So whatever animation you want to do. This is a particular couple of animations that I recorded with the motion capture suit. But this also works with any animation that you pull from the marketplace, any Mixamo animation, any other animation that you want to use for that matter. What you're going to do is you're going to do pretty much the same that we do with control rig. So it's right click and you can see that there's some baking here. However, there's bake to control rig. This is something that I was trying. It didn't end up pretty well. I'm not going to use it. But there's other ways that we can fix this without having a control rig. It's just a little bit more cumbersome, but it still works. So if we go here on edit with FK control rig, we're going to be able to move our bones just kind of like we had control rig. The only difference is we're not going to have the controls. And this is only going to work with FK. So that's why it says here, edit with FK control rig. That means forward kinematics. Forward kinematics means it's mostly going to be rotation. You're not going to be using the inverse kinematic motion where if you move the wrist, the rest of the arm moves with it. That's not going to happen here. We will be doing mostly rotation, or well, not mostly, 100% we're going to be doing rotation. So let me click here. By the way, make sure that you have all your animations lined up before you do this, because this is going to occupy the whole animation layer. And if you add animations after this, for me, it creates problems, it crashes. So just make sure that you have all your animations first and then go and do this. So edit with control rig. It's going to ask you for all this. I usually leave it at default. I don't change anything. So create. All right. So I finished baking, and as you can see, I have a bunch of keys, just like you would have if you were to bake to control rig. As you can see, it instantly sends me to animation mode. And over here, I have all the bones that I need to reach. And as you can see, my animation is still pretty much the same. Nothing changed in regards of that. Everything is the same. That's why I tell you, just line up your animations like whatever way you want them, and then do this. So after that, what we're going to do is we're going to go into control rig, and you could do the absolute changes like I did on the face, because I did some changes for the face. But for here, I'm just going to add an additive section because the corrections are not as major as like the lip part of the face if you watch my previous video. So all we need to do is go here into FK control rig section, add an additive, and now we have our control rig section. As always do a key in the beginning, so that way everything is keyed, and you can use auto key. Make sure auto key is on. It's going to make your life much easier. All right. Okay, now a couple of things that I mentioned that I wanted to have. As you can see, he is kind of looking down here. So if we go here, and you can see that none of my bones are showing. What I have to do to make the bones show is go here and uncheck game view, and still my bones are not showing. Yep, silly me. As you can see, you probably were screaming at me. Hide control shapes. I have it checked. I need to uncheck that. And now you can see all the controllers here. They are, pretty much highlighted with dots and lines. So what we're going to do is we have the head control. So let me search for head. Here we go. Let me see if this is the one that I want. Probably not the one that I want. Probably want this one over here. And let's move it like that. This is what we want. Exactly what we need. Okay. So one of the things that I like to do, and I mentioned this briefly on my previous tutorial of the face, is I like to key before and after. So there is no alteration after the key. So let's say over here, he is lowering his head. This is where we want to start. So we're going to make a key here. I'm going to go all the way to where we want to stop, which is probably around here. I'm going to make another key. This is so things are not altered after we do the changes. I'm just going to make this linear as usual. Make sure I bring in my I think I'm actually going to do, instead of linear, I'm going to do non-linear, so cubic. The reason why I'm going to do cubic here is because I don't want him to, like, his head to pop up recently. So we're just going to do this. So he looks forward. Let's see how that works. Much better. Starts looking down. So maybe in here we don't have this key. Let's see what's up. Okay. As you can see, he keeps his head high. And I think we're doing pretty good here. This is a take where he actually lowers his head, but I don't mind this part right here because this is exactly where it starts. And so I'm not going to do any modifications there. I think he is fine. Let's see. And we're starting with the macro part right now. We're not worrying about the fingers just yet. I want to make sure that everywhere he is looking where I need him to look. Of course, not here because we don't see his face. But in here, he is looking down, and we do need him to look down. This is why I'm using additive instead of absolute, because there are some parts where I want him to look down. Let me see if I can use game view. No, I cannot use game view. Anyways, he's looking down, and is this one of the parts where I want to change? Let me see. I think, yeah, he looks over to the crater, and then he decides to revive the robot. And here, I'm going to do some changes to the arms. And again, we're doing the macro first, then we're going to go to the fingers, which I consider to be, a little bit smaller. Or the micro, if you will. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, we want to go into the camera. Yes, I want to go into the camera to see what's happening. So let's just lift his hand a little bit more. Let's go more like this. If we get out of the camera, one of the things over here that I do not like, and this kind of has to do with motion capture suit, is that his arm is overextended, which is very unnatural. So I'm just going to do this, so it's not ridiculous. Go back to his shoulder. Let's go back to our camera. Click on the camera. By the way, I already have the camera set up. I have a whole playlist on rendering sequencer if you want to do what I'm doing, jumping in between cameras and by just clicking one button. I want to leave the playlist down below. So I'm just going to fix this. There you go. That looks much better. Let's hide controls and see how that looks. Now it looks like the arm is actually pointing towards the robot as opposed to what it looked before. The fingers are still crooked, so we need to fix that. But let me keep scrolling to see. Okay, he lowers his hand there, and the robot's kind of talking to us. However, now this arm kind of stayed weird, which I'm not very happy about that. So let's go back. And this is probably a position where I want, yeah, like this, where I want to do a key before and after, just so it doesn't affect the rotation of the other parts too much. I'm just going to delete these two keys that I did. Just, you know, going through the motions so you can see me make mistakes and correct them at the same time. So let's see, he's right there, and over here, I want to make a key. And when he starts doing that, I want to make the other key. However, we're gonna scroll all the way to where he ends doing it. That way, like over here, where his hands is back, so we don't see the change, which is very important. Click here. So we can like probably bring this couple of like that. There you go. All right, so over here we're gonna do these changes. Let me, instead of doing that, let me just key. Don't scroll the keys like I just did, because you're just changing something that it was already there. So don't do that. Just go back and re-key. Again, this is my recommendation. So what we're gonna do is probably gonna key here instead of this one. Delete. And now we're going to do the same thing with the forearm. So I almost forgot. Okay, we're at the forearm. Upper arm twist. Okay, we're lower arm. As you can see, this isn't key yet. Over here too. Okay. So we're gonna go over here, and again, it looks very unnatural. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna do this. Make him look like he is actually pointing. Okay, I like how the highlights over here. This is good. All right, this is good stuff. I'm gonna leave it here. Let's see how that worked. Let's turn off the control shapes. Let's just see how that worked. Okay, looks a lot better. Like it's actually pointing. And it's probably should be, let me see. Should probably key over here again. Let me extend this a little. Okay. All right. Now he's just lowering his arm. It looks nice and natural. Looks a little bit crooked because of the fingers. We're going to fix that in a second. Let's see what else we need to change. I think this is the end of the animation. All right, now let's go to the fingers. The fingers we're going to fix from the get-go. And why is this? Oh, okay. This is the neck fix that we did before. Okay, there you go. Now, let's see. I think we're going to fix the fingers from the start. So I'm just going to exit my camera, and we're just going to take a look at the fingers. I can barely see anything right here. So let me just put a spotlight. There you go. Spotlight right there. And just make sure that it's around the hand. I could go with on lid, but since this has a lot of different colors in the unlit mode, it kind of looks unpleasant. So it's even harder to see in unlit. So that's why I just added that light. All right, so we need to fix the pinky. Just this one right here. Let's go back to the animation outliner. We are here. So the pinky, let me just fix it once. Can barely see where the other pinky is. Yeah, it's very hard because everything is gray. I think there is a way to change the colors of the bones. I'm not gonna get into that now, but pretty sure there should be a way. And where is the other one? This one right here. Okay, there you go. So it's not so crooked to the back. All right. So it looks like, okay, looks like the bone is broken. All right, much better. Much better, and I need to fix the tip. Let's go with the tip. All right, there you go. We need to do that on the other hand. We also need to fix the thumb. So let's just fix the thumb now that we're here. Let's do this. This, you know, a little bit more of a natural position. Same thing with this thumb, since we're here. Thing is, there you go. Okay. There you go. Let's just fix this. This one's a little bit easier to fix. I may have, yeah, I think I need to bring the light over. Always save. Make sure you save because fixing animations, it's a crashy situation that we're doing here. So make sure you always save when doing this. Now let's fix this thing that made the bone look broken. Let's also go here. And why is it doing this? Okay. And the tip. And this is, wow, this is so broken right now. There you go. Fix that. Fix that. And just bring this back a little bit. There you go. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, like that. Okay. You see that this finger is also a little bit crooked that way. Just do that. This one might be as well. Just do that. Okay. I know that your bones usually don't move that way, but they didn't look good. So let's see how this affected. Let's see the finger part, height controls, or we can just go and game view. Heights our controllers. And as you can see, much better looking hands. Much better on the eyes. And that was a quick fix, pretty much. Look at how it looks over here. May need to get this thumb a little bit more outwards. Let's just do that. Gonna go here, and this is why it's so important that you fix your animations So there you go. Hide control shapes. All right, that looks cool. That's exactly how we want it to look. And let's go to the part over here where he does that. So in here, he's going to stretch his hand a little bit, you know, when you're kind of like trying to help the robot come to life. So we're going to do some finger stretching on this part. Now in here, we're going to apply that situation where we actually key things before and after. And wow, this hand looks all kinds of messed up. We're gonna fix that. Thankfully, we're gonna apply movie magic. So it doesn't matter how it looks because we have movie magic. I'll tell you about movie magic in another video. Maybe when this thing is done, we can talk about that. Let me get it so I can see what's up. Okay. So let me go to my controllers. I'm gonna click on the hand. And why is the hand key? Oh, the hand is not keyed. Okay. All right, so we have the thumb. Now we don't want the thumb to be like that all the time. So I'm gonna key here and I'm gonna key right around here. All right. So over here, I'm gonna key this open. There you go, open. We need to erase this. Do we? It's probably not necessary, but one key here, one key here, and let's just key over here and over there. There's some issues that I'm seeing here. I don't know, this may be more of like a rigging kind of thing. More like it's likely a rigging kind of thing, but like I always said, that's why we have movie magic. And look at this pinky. Look at that, that's all kinds broken. Let me just, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this to a normal level. So let's go ahead and key here, go here, and there you go. They're all at the same level. I'm gonna go here and just gonna move it slightly towards this. And we're gonna fix the pinky. Now, I just moved the light a little bit so it's easier to see. And let's just make the fixes over here. Okay, let's just go down. So it looks like a normal finger. By the way, you can always grab them by the outliner here. It's probably easier for me to just type pinky. And there they are. So we have one. Oh, we're doing the right. There you go. We have the tip. Just gonna lower the tip a little. All right, no longer looks broken. Let me see, number one, extended. I know I didn't make any keys before or after. Let's just key things over here. Let's see how that looks. Hopefully it looks correct. Now make sure that we're in game view. And yeah, we have this big old light. But that looks much better. That looks much neater. And we have this big old light that's, like I said, movie magic's going to be hiding a little bit of what's going on. And again, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel so we can talk about movie magic in another video. And he is done. Alright, so if I go back to my game view, delete this light, and just go back to my camera. Let's see the whole sequence and see if we missed anything. Okay, so he goes right there. I like where his head is aiming. His hands are perfect. Well, not perfect, but good. He looks good, which is important. The illumination is not great, so I'm going to have a reflector on his right, or maybe just a direct light to see what we can do about this. This is too dark. It shouldn't be that dark. So this part's great. And he does that. It looks very good. And there's a part where it doesn't look that good, but that's why we have cuts in movies. So, all right, that is how to fix a body animation without having control rig. This is also why I'm doing it to a non-metahuman, because if you were doing it to a metahuman, you always had control rig. You don't have to go through these processes. However, if you have control rig, it's pretty much the same. Just go do rotation. The only difference with control rig is you will have access to inverse kinematics, which will allow you to also use the move tool as opposed to just use rotation, which is what you saw me doing. Anyways, thanks for watching the whole video, and as always, please leave a like, leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe if you haven't. There's a Patreon if you want to help out the channel. If not, then just leaving a like goes a long way. There's a Discord if you have any questions. Follow me on Twitter for more updates on this thing, and also on the Instagram. And thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.